Intersectional feminist hands me a copy of How to Talk About Race. Recites a land acknowledgement to honor the native tribes who have been displaced to make space for the organic acai bar we frequent. Claims to pay the voluntary land tax as a form of reparations. Tears up at the mentions of the government's transgressions past and present. Intersectional feminist talks about oneness and spirit, about a vision of a world free of labels and division, buys groceries from a co-op and doesn't mess with single-use plastic, loves AOC and RBG and hashtags goals on most of their pictures. Intersectional feminist observes meatless Mondays twice a month and cuts down on quinoa because Peruvians can no longer afford it. Intersectional feminist is male, is female, is non-binary, is writing pronouns in bio to normalize that conversation, because intersectional feminist is an ally of every cause that isn't Palestinian. Claims the history is too complicated. Can't champion something without understanding. Dips tortillas in sabra hummus and doesn't taste the bitter when we mention shatila. Swears the name must be coincidence, but respects conscious consumption. Intersectional feminist has had a rough year and needs to cocoon for self-care. Psyche needs a break because it's manifesting physical pain from life's pressures. Acknowledges the privilege of being able to say that, of having time and space to heal, to refocus on the beauty all around us, to sideline suffering for a minute. Besides, intersectional feminist has had friends who went on birthright, and a cousin from Canada who left to volunteer for the occupier's army. Intersectional feminists wouldn't want to minimize their truths, must hold space for their fears. After all, anti-Semitism is on the rise. Intersectional feminists understands the same is true of Islamophobia as well as anti-Asian violence and hate crimes in general. And speaking of which, asks, aren't the Arabs homophobic? Isn't their patriarchy horrible towards women? Isn't toxic masculinity codified? That's another conversation, I reply. Let's have it any other day, not when we're discussing apartheid. Intersectional feminist warns me. Even Bernie said tone down that rhetoric. Raises eyebrows to indicate I crossed the line, sips on SodaStream water, signs out of HP computer, soaks skin in Ahava minerals, slips into a pair of Pumas, scoops a pint of Ben & Jerry's, and silently supports a genocide.